This is Uncanny Excellent Men 199 by Christopher Clairvoyant and Junior. As you can see from this cover, Christopher Clairvoyant, he is going through the motions of handing Rachel Phoenix more and more power-ups. It was only issue 196 that he had to unlock her true potential, the full extent of her psychic powers, and now he decides that that isn't enough, so let's just give her the Phoenix Force as well. Sometimes I have got to look really hard to find something good in Christopher Clairvoyant comics, but what I like about this one is that it just put a good bit up front. This is the highlight of the issue. It peaks here. We've got a good splash page of Cyclist by Junior with what constitutes as minimal writing from Christopher Clairvoyant. Cyclist, though, he's barely in the issue, and he's really only here for the sake of Clairvoyant digging a plot in 2 issues' time where he has Storms, who is depowered and hasn't got her mutant powers anymore. Storms challenges Cyclist to a battle for the right to be leader of the Excellent Men, and naturally the powerless Storms, she easily defeats Cyclist. Clairvoyant's plotting is always see-through and obvious like that. The only interesting thing in this is we begin the arc, which remained their status quo for years, where the Brotherhood of Evil Muties, they started working for the government. We have got Mistake, the sexy Smurf woman, and she goes to a sexy government lady, and immediately the Brotherhood of Evil Muties are working for the government because Christopher Clairvoyant, he doesn't care enough to actually tell that story. And this stuff with Rachel Phoenix is about as bad as it can be. Not only is Christopher Clairvoyant stapling something else onto this character, as I've said before, no character can ever just be normal in Christopher Clairvoyant comics. They've all got to have some tangential relation to ancient cosmic gods or evil demonic realms or whatever. But here he is pretending to do character stuff with Rachel Phoenix. This isn't characterization though. This is disgusting, and it's not the only time I'm using that word for the plot mechanics in this issue. This isn't about Rachel Phoenix. This isn't about Rachel Phoenix at all. This is Rachel Phoenix falling over herself to worship and remind the readers how brilliant her dead whore mother was. The insistence of her mother's perfection, it is nauseating. This character has been dead for over 50 issues by this point. The franchise is just reluctant to ever get out of this stupid genocidal sacred cow. So Rachel Phoenix, she honours her mother by randomly getting her Phoenix powers. It's not explained why she's able to channel them or why nobody else has come along and just taken them as easily as she has done. But this is just Christopher Clairvoyant making a female character more powerful with no real end goal in mind. She's gonna fight the Beyonder Man with these new powers. It's a Secret Wars II tie-in. I think that's the only reason he did it, so he could have her fight a character who was meant to be, like, imperceptibly powerful, and then argue that his own female character is more powerful. And to say the comic gets worse from this point on is an understatement. Here we are at an Holocaust memorial thing, and Mr. Magnet and Buffy Pride are there, and I'll just come out and say I didn't like Mr. Magnet as a hero. Well, actually, let me restate that. I didn't like Mr. Magnet as a hero. I didn't like Mr. Magnet as the soulful saint that Christopher Clairvoyant insists that he is. And I find this whole sequence to be disgusting. There's that word again. It's quite repulsive. Rather than write a complex character arc or put Mr. Magnets into positions to test his resolve or change his way of thinking, Christopher Clairvoyant just uses the Holocaust as a substitute for writing. It's like his answer to any question about Mr. Magnets or why he is now a good guy is to just go Holocaust as a default response. And what really sickens us is that Christopher Clairvoyant, he argues that in the Holocaust, this real life thing that really happened, it's like easily the most horrific thing in human history. Well, he argues that Mr. Magnets was a fucking hero of the Holocaust, that he was ganning around and saving the Jews from concentration camps. Those were those theme parks in Germany. And there were whispers of him as a saviour. It's not just offensive to take an atrocity like the Holocaust and milk it for your lack of ability to justify a character's schizophrenic desire to be a hero. It's outrageously disgusting to insist that this villain, who is a bigot proposing genocide half the time himself, this fictional terrorist is somehow the good guy in a horrific real-life event. The Holocaust stuff in this, it makes me so risibly angry, I am fighting back a strong urge to tear it up right here and now. The Brotherhood of Evil Muties, they show up. Their first mission as government-appointed agents is to arrest Mr. Magnets. And don't forget though, Mr. Magnets, he is a hero now, so his main concern is making sure that they're different fighting the other Holocaust survivors. Mr. Magnets, he refuses to fight them because, don't forget, he is a hero now and he doesn't want to hurt anybody ever. Fucking rubbish. So the Excellent Men, they all show up because it is their book, but they are completely useless. They all get beaten within a panel. Like up here, Cyclist and Wolfman, the two ones everyone wants to read about, where they just get beaten by Avocado using his powers once. Because of course, the main thing that Christopher Clairvoyant wants to do, it's all about Mr. Magnets being a heroic angel who never meant to hurt anyone ever. And to prove that point, this non-adventure, it ends with Mr. Magnets surrendering to them peacefully so that he can go on trial for all his past crimes, which is just a shambles. It turns out to be an excuse for Christopher Clairvoyant to waste a whole other issue just hammering home his one-note broken take on Mr. Magnets. If you dare say that Mr. Magnets has committed a terrorist attack or that he has killed someone, well, shut up, because he was in the Holocaust. Fuck this comic. Like, seriously, fuck it. It is horrible. It's like all of Christopher Clairvoyant's work. It is transparent in every possible way. Clairvoyant, he avoids character work in favour of insisting that it is there instead. One positive thing I can say about this issue is at least Storms wasn't in it. Any Christopher Clairvoyant script, it is immediately improved if Storms isn't in it. This is still a terrible comic. Just because I am not tearing it up doesn't mean that it isn't that bad. It really is, but the art by Junior, it isn't as hopeless as the script, but I rate it easily my lowest score ever, 7 thumbs up.